Good afternoon, and I'd like to welcome everyone to the September 21st, 2020 regular council meeting. First order of business today would be Rob Dompus had a family emergency, and will not be here tonight. I need a motion to appoint Mrs. Kamener as the clerk for tonight's meeting.
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, Jenny, you're the clerk for tonight's meeting. Can I have a roll call, please?
Yes. Mr. Kessel,
Here.
Ms. Resnick,
Where'd you go?
I don't know. Okay, Ms. Camarisi,
Here.
Mr. Ernst,
Here.
Mr. Riffle,
Here.
Ms. Lally,
Here.
and Ms. Resnick was here, but she dropped off. So I'm sure she'll join back up in a second.
Okay.
She's still off. You can go ahead now.
First order of business be the reading of the bills and bank reconciliation. Mr. Riffle, do you have a report on it?
All the bills have been paid and reconciled for now.
That's for the month of August.
Correct. Sorry.
Have a motion to approve the reading of the bills and bank reconciliation.
That's a move.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Bills and bank reconciliations have been approved. In your packet, everybody should have received a copy of the minutes from our August council meeting. Do we have any corrections, deletions, additions? Hearing none, I need a motion to adopt the August 17th, 2020 regular council minutes.
That's smooth.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Minutes from the August 17th, 2020 council meeting have been approved. Do we have any communications?
We have one. This is an email that was sent to Chief Bronson from Maggie Burke. It reads, I wanted to send a thank you to your police department. This morning, I got a flat tire on Columbia Parkway, and one of your officers helped me change my tire. I didn't get his name, but I was so appreciative of his help, and I am a teacher at Marymount, and he helped me to get work safely and on time. Thank you again, Maggie Burke. And it's noted on the email that the officer was Aaron McLaren.
Again, I think we can be proud of all of our safety services guys. They do an excellent job and are courteous and helpful to all of our residents. Rodney, if you could pass that on to everybody and tell them it was good. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir, I will.
And Mr. Mayor, I just got a notice from Ms. Resnick. She had to reboot her computer. She'll be joining us back shortly. So,
Okay. Any committee reports?
Mine is Kim about walking.
Hearing none. Hopefully, sometime soon we can start getting back into our committees. I know that Mr. Kessel has something set up for the park down there and what we're going to do with the property where the pool was. And hopefully within the next month or two, we can get something started on that. Mayor's monthly report.
for the month of August 2020, $3,186.44.
Anybody have any questions? Again, we're just now getting back into the swing with Mayor's Court and getting the officers back out on the streets. So with that, I need a motion to approve the mayor's monthly report.
Smooth.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mayor's monthly report has been approved. The administrator's report.
Okay, on the 2020 street repaving project, Arrow Point Way is now complete and is completely open to traffic. The curbs on High Street and Eleanor will begin this week. Under new business, there's ordinance 21. That is for a change order in regard to this project. And as we discussed at last week's ECC meeting, there was a need to replace sidewalk on the west side of Arrow Point Way since the roll curb on that street abutted the sidewalk. And when that old curb was removed, it started taking chunks of the sidewalk away due to its age. The contractor did agree to replace the sidewalk at $8 per square foot instead of the quoted $14 a square foot that was on the contract since it was an ad. So the total amount of the change order is $14,400 for 1,800 square foot of concrete. And then also under new business, ordinance number 22 was just brought to Mr. Avis later last week. So this was not discussed at the ECC meeting. FCA Realty / Chrysler, who's looking to do proposed development on Red Bank, requested an extension on the community reinvestment area for the proposed dealership. Due to delays this year because of COVID, the request is to extend the agreement until January of 2021. Mr. Avis reviewed all the documents and found them to be acceptable. And as you know, Mayor Shelton reported last week that the Planning Commission recently met to review the project again. There was a small change in the position or the location of the building on that site, and that was approved. So their next step would be to submit plans to the Hamilton County Building Department in order to get permit. So if there's anything that I missed, Mr. Avis, feel free to jump in.
No, they asked late last week if we would extend their period for management approval. We had built into the agreement that they had 180 days or maybe 150 days to approve it at the senior level. That was due to expire last Friday. So they actually reached out, I think, late Wednesday or Thursday. So we had Jenny sign a consent to extend the period. The ordinance that we proposed tonight would ratify that consent. It would also approve the amended and restated agreement, which provides until January 5th, and also just adds some clarity about when their annual fee would be due. So we made a couple small tweaks at their request, but everything's fine.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Avis? Anything else, Jenny?
Nope, that completes my report.
Thank you. On to the police chief's report. Ronnie, do you have anything?
No, nothing more than the executive council, just that, like Mayor Shelton said, we are back out on the streets and continue to make a presence in the community. If there's any questions, feel free to contact us. School's back in session, so we'll make sure we continue our school patrols and watching our bus stops and trying to make sure that those kids are safe to get to and from school safely. So and that everything is that's all we have.
Right. Anybody have any questions for the lieutenant? Okay, thanks, Lieutenant. On to new business. Ordinance number 2020.
Ordinance number 2020, amending ordinance number 22, 2006, as amended and supplemented, establishing an auxiliary police unit for the village of Fairfax and declaring an emergency.
This is the ordinance that I talked about at the meeting last week. This is just to clarify the way we go about hiring auxiliary officers and having it changed. We had a couple of things in there that needed to be removed from it. So if anybody's got any questions or anything on this ordinance. Okay. This time I need a motion to suspend the 3 readings.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
I'm sorry, that was Mr. Ernst, you second that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Ms. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
And who am I missing?
Me.
Mr. Riffle, Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
This time I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 2020.
That's smooth.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
Ordinance number 2020 has been adopted. Ordinance number 2020.
Ordinance number 21, 2020, authorizing the village administrator to execute a change order for the 2020 residential street paving project and declaring an emergency.
If you remember at the last meeting, last Monday, Mrs. Kemner brought up the bit about the curbs on the Arrowway project. This is what this ordinance is for. Do we have any questions? At this time, I need a motion to suspend the 3 readings.
Also move.
I'll
Second.
second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
This time, I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 21, 2020.
I so move.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
Ordinance number 21, 2020 has been adopted. Ordinance number 22, 2020.
Ordinance number 22, 2020, authorizing the village administrator to execute a second amended and restated community reinvestment area agreement with FCA Realty LLC for a real property tax exemption pursuant to the community reinvestment area previously established by the village and declaring an emergency.
This is the ordinance that Mr. Avis just talked about. Do we have any questions? At this time, I need a motion to suspend the 3 readings.
That's smooth.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
This time, I entertain a motion to adopt ordinance number 22, 2020.
That's smooth.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
Ordinance number 22, 2020 has been adopted. On to resolution R9, 2020.
Resolution R9, 2020, a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
Again, this is our every month, didn't announce anything over $3,000.
No, sorry, this is the annual.
I'm sorry. you're right,
Resolution.
You're right. There is no now, didn't announce for this month. Okay. Do we have any questions on this? Okay, at this time I need a motion to adopt resolution R9, 2020.
I so move.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Camerisi,
Aye.
Mr. Ernst,
Aye.
Mr. Kessel,
Aye.
Mrs. Resnick,
Aye.
Ms. Lally,
Aye.
Mr. Riffle.
Aye.
Resolution R9, 2020 has been adopted. On the old business, is there any discussion that needs to be brought back up? Any council discussions?
Mayor, what are we going to do about Halloween?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same question.
That was my question too.
Mrs. Cameriti, or, sorry, Jenny, Mrs. Cameron, do you want to talk about what we talked about today?
Sure. There will be, so anyone watching this, there will be Halloween held in Fairfax, probably as the most communities. We did get some guidance just today from the governor's office, which we will put out in the upcoming forum. But it's just really to encourage people who choose to do it to be, safe, social distance, wear the mask, etc. Those who do not wish to participate, whether it's by trick or treating or those passing out candy, just turn your porch light off. Don't have your door open. Those who do wish to pass out candy, put their porch light on, make it look, maybe obvious to people doing it. But again, mask wearing for both the trick-or-treaters and those maybe passing out candy. The guidance that came out, that's a whole full sheet that we will include in our newsletter, and I'll also post this to our Facebook page. Also includes things, suggestions, best practices, things like, maybe wiping down the candy wrappers, only accept store-bought or manufactured candy. Obviously, things might seem common sense, but it's still on the list. Things like don't accept homemade treats, especially from a stranger's home, that kind of thing. It will be held on actual Halloween, which is Saturday this year, the 31st. It will be at the normal time. It's between 6 and 8 p.m. And again, it's just going to be left up to the individual, their families, on whether they want to participate.
Okay. And when did, I just found out last Friday that we are now renting the shelter. Are we renting the rec center out also?
We are not. Rec Center is being used for Mayor's Court for the rest of the year, so it's set up kind of in a semi-permanent state for that. The shelter has been rented actually since, and I think it was several months ago, we talked about that. Since it's outdoors, we've been renting that since probably June, maybe. I can't remember the exact date, but that has been available all summer because it's outdoors, but that is the only thing that we're doing at the present time.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I've seen some regrading down at the old pool property. Is there a reason they did that?
My guess is, I know that a while back, there was some grading done by Evans when they originally filled it in, but there were some things that I think there was some ponding of water, some things not draining correctly. So I know Mr. Husky had contacted him about that a while ago. So if something just happened recently, it may be them finally coming back to do that. I had not seen or heard that being done recently, so I can confirm that's the case of what that was, but that's what I suspect. It was them coming back to correct.
There wouldn't be no further charge on this, correct?
There should not be, no, because something wasn't graded properly for something to drain, but I'll confirm that's exactly what it was. And not something new, but I didn't hear of anything, so I'm almost positive it's probably them just coming back to fix what wasn't quite right from the get-go.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, comments? At this time, we're open for adjournment.
I so
Make a
move.
motion. I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thanks, everyone, for showing up, and we'll see you at the next meeting.
Good night.
Guys.
Right.
See ya.
Thank you. Night.
Tomorrow night, for anybody that wants
All
to
right.